Okay, listeners, Sim is freaking out.
No, I'm not freaking out. I'm fine. We're not that late. Hold on. How do I figure this out? Shit.
Sim, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your freak out level right now? Because you're always hovering.
Hang on a second. I have to find the Skype button.
A 6 and a 13.
Okay, what are we doing right now? We're calling?
We're calling Andy Cohen.
Let's call him right now. He's on his way to a book signing for his new book called Superficial.
I know. We were able sort of last minute to be able to chat with Andy. Sim, we're a minute late.
Hello, this is Leslie.
Hi, Leslie. This is Anna Faris.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
I'm good. Is this an okay time? I can't believe you guys are so kind to potentially squeeze us in.
Yeah, I have Andy right next to me.
Yay.
This is exciting.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a sec.
Hello.
Andy Cohen.
Oh, my God. I can't even believe it.
I can't either. You were so kind to do this. I know you have an insane schedule today, and I just love you so much.
Are you kidding me? I was dying to do this.
Really? Because I've been dying to do your show.
I love you.
I love you, too.
I'm dying for you to do my freaking TV show.
You are my love from afar, and I need you to move to Los Angeles, move in with me, and be my best friend forever and ever.
I feel like we met at some NBC event like 5 or 6 years ago for 2 seconds with you and your husband. I feel like really a long time ago, I think. But I could be wrong.
Did I kind of molest you? I feel like I would have done that.
Yeah, I feel like you did. It was good.
Because I want to. I want to over the phone. I don't know how to do that.
Physically?
Yes.
Excellent. Oh, my God. Well, this is even better news.
I know. I want to stick my hand in your crotch, and I hope you'll forgive me for that.
Oh, my God. I want to share that special place with you.
It just seems like a special place, but thank you. I know, like I said before, I know you have the craziest schedule today, and congratulations on your book. It's called Superficial, and I'm so excited to read it. And
thank you. Thanks. I'm very excited about it, and it's I've now published 2 diaries. And it's really, I love the format, and it's really fun, and I think it's really funny, and I think for anyone who likes kind of celebrity or to laugh or the housewives or dogs or New York City
I
or
like
me,
all of those things.
Good.
Okay, so I have a gazillion questions for you, and we won't get to all of them. At some point, I do want to privately ask you about book writing because we're sort of. By the way, my friend Sim Sarna is here.
Hi, Andy. Sorry, Anna didn't introduce me, but I'm also a huge fan.
It's because I'm an asshole.
I'm her co-host and producer.
And I don't want to put my hand in his pants, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. But I feel like I'm intruding on this love fest, so I'm just going to, kind of bow out for now and let you guys
totally
talk.
Cool.
I
like a 3-way.
You do?
But not only am I a huge fan of your show and you, I also am like a diehard Real Housewives fan, so at some point I really want to pick your brain about all that stuff. I want to audition.
Thank you, sure.
Could I don't know. Could I audition to be?
Yeah, but not for like Beverly Hills.
I don't know.
Hollywood Hills. Can there be like a Real Housewives of the Hollywood Hills?
That would be awesome. Please submit your audition tape, and let's take a really good look at it.
Oh, my God.
That would be incredible.
I would love it. I am worried, though, that I'm too much of like a pacifier and a pleaser. I don't know if I have the right skill set to bring the major drama.
But this would be a fun show to cast. This would be a lot of fun to cast, I think. I mean,
Housewives of the Hollywood Hills?
Yes. We don't have to cast it right now.
But kind of the downtrodden Hollywood Hills. I don't live in the fancy canyon. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Warby Parker. Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and the lofty goal of creating boutique quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. Sunglasses, with or without a prescription, start at $95 and, just like eyeglasses, are available through their home try-on program. You just choose 5 pairs and see which ones you like. I was surprised by how quickly they arrived, which presented me with the immediate problem of deciding which ones to keep. I loved all of them, so you can guess what happened. And not only can you feel good about how cool you look, you can also feel good knowing that for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need through partnerships with nonprofits like Vision Spring. Offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams, Warby Parker is committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores. So put your FSA or HSA dollars to good use on Warby Parker prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. Try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try at home for free for 5 days. There's no obligation to buy. Ships free and includes a prepaid return shipping label. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/unqualified. That's warbyparker.com/unqualified. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by ZocDoc. Who gets excited about trying a new restaurant that has 2 out of 5 stars? When it comes to finding healthcare, don't ratings matter even more? ZocDoc is a free app where you can compare doctors, read reviews from real patients, and even make same-day appointments. When I finally called to reschedule my dentist appointment, I was told that my dentist had been retired for nearly 3 years. In my defense, parking was a nightmare. Through ZocDoc, I found a new dentist who had great reviews, took my insurance, and whose office was actually within walking distance. I was also able to book an appointment instantly without talking to a receptionist who made me feel guilty about not having my teeth cleaned for 3 years. My new dentist didn't make me feel guilty either, and only suggested I floss a little more often. Whether you need a primary care physician, dentist, dermatologist, psychiatrist, eye doctor, or other specialist, ZocDoc makes healthcare easy. Now is the time to prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/unqualified and download the ZocDoc app. Sign up for free and book a top-rated doctor who might be available as soon as today. That's ZocDoc.com/unqualified. So, okay, Andy, I want you to be able to plug everything that you want to plug. I do have a couple of deal breaker questions for you where you imagine that you're single and what you would do in a specific dating situation. So tell me what you would like to cover first.
I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
I love you. I just love you. Okay, so... Well, I really do want to talk to you about your book and sort of, and also at some point too. We might not have time, but the idea of how you created, you are like single-handedly created brilliant reality television, and
thank you.
I am. And I think that there's an odd there's such an escapist quality in watching your shows and you're brilliant what happens live. Oh, Allison.
I agree. There's a way to just like zone out and watch, and there's something hypnotic about it, about these shows. I totally agree.
Yeah. It's, and for me as an actor too, part of my justification is I like not having to think about acting really. When I'm watching a show, I like to think, and I want to see, why do I want to see people yell at each other? I don't know. I'm not a very combative person, but I do. I want to see that shit. And the way you like manage the reunion shows constantly floors me. But hey, this is a gossipy question, but did you guys make a conscious choice to sort of eliminate like the champagne drinking during the reunion stuff?
Oh my God, that is such a funny question. And I love that question because you mean during or at the end when we have a toast?
Like during, because early on it seemed like, in order to get people to
Yeah. Well, a lot of times they are, after lunch or usually the reunion tapings are endless and they take all day and they just go on and on. And, the amazing thing is that they'll usually start having maybe a glass of rosé or a glass of wine or something around the late afternoon break, around 5:00. But we don't. I mean, I prefer that they not start drinking early because it's such a long day. There's no way to maintain that speed unless you go fully off the rails, and they're off the rails enough even when they arrive. So it's like, you can't, it would be too much of a train pile up if they were drinking the whole time. And then there are some of the franchises where we do have a champagne toast at the very end, and I always get really, really cranky in the last hour of shooting, and I'm like, Daddy has to go, Daddy's pissed, I want to leave, and then I say, and the producers are like, oh, we just want to set up the champagne toast, and it's going to take us 10 minutes to get the champagne out and reset, and then we're going to have you do it 8 times. It's like the one thing, we've done everything else with only one take, but somehow this stupid champagne toast is going to take forever. So it makes me insane, which is why I love that question if you were asking about that. But no, in terms of during the show, we can't do that.
Well, yeah, I think that, I mean, it always seems like emotions are pretty heightened at that point. And, and like I said, I really have I don't know, I want to take you on vacation because I have so many questions I want to grill you. I don't know where you.
I wanted what are the hot dating issues at the moment?
All right. So now we're going to pretend like you are you're single in New York.
Okay.
Okay. So these are called deal breakers. And I'm going to set up a scenario, and you let me know if this means it's a no-go. You met a sexy architect named Jonathan at Infora, right? Is that how you pronounce it? Infora.
Yes, that's right around the corner from. Yes. Okay.
Wonderful. I'm glad I can. Okay, so you know exactly where you are. On 8th Avenue. Well, yeah. Okay. He looks a lot like Taylor Lautner. You two really hit it off.
Okay, I like everything that you're saying so far.
Just give me a minute, though. You two really hit it off, and he invites you back to his place. You start fooling around, and he tells you, you seem really non-judgmental. I've always had a role-playing fantasy, and I'd really love to try something with you. He tells you he'll be right back. He comes back with a red wig and a blonde wig. He says, you be Miranda and I'll be Carrie. I've always wanted to live out my lesbian Sex in the City fantasy.
Wow.
Are you game, Andy? Is this a deal breaker? Are you going to put on the red wig? Like, what do you think?
Okay. 2 questions.
Yes.
Is how much like Taylor Lautner does he look?
A whole lot.
Okay. And second of all, okay, so okay, well, that's important. So what I think that I would do is if I was thinking about him as a boyfriend, it would probably knock him down a few notches because it sounds like an exhausting way of life, but I would absolutely do it for the Lautner-ness and the story.
Okay. All right. And let's say this isn't sort of, I don't have this part. Well, I haven't really thought out too much of this part, but let's say he really wants you to sort of be kind of, like Miranda a little bit, like a slightly ornery, very brilliant lawyer who's unsure about whether or not, she wanted a child.
And how does that come into play in the sexual role play?
Well,
I mean, am I just like reading legal briefs and stuff?
No. A little bit, but then he really wants to pretend your penises are vaginas. And so,
wow. Okay.
Listen, I'm flying off the cuff here, Andy. I'm just trying to challenge you.
Again, you still have me engaged because of the Taylor Lautner.
I know, you're so superficial, aren't you? Well, you're very handsome. You were very handsome. Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, again, everything you're saying is adding to my notion that when I leave the apartment, we will never speak again. But I also feel like that the moment that I'm going to want to go charge my phone, because the moment I leave, I'm going to start speed dialing my friends and say, you're never going to believe what just happened. You know what I mean?
But what if it was... So
but by the way...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go on, because, yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say to you that I realized that there's a story in my new book that I think you would be quite interested in, which is the book gets kind of... It's like almost 2 years in my life, and it's a diary, and it gets really meta for a few weeks of the diary where I'm on a book tour for my previous book. And I'm talking about what it's like to go on a book tour and people you meet, and funny shit always happens on book tours. But I was in Boston, and I was signing a book for this guy who I looked up and I was like, wow, this guy's so handsome. And we just connected in our eyes. I don't know what it was. And he said, he said, he kind of pointed to this beautiful blonde woman, and he said, she watches you every night, so she makes me watch you, or something like that. And I said, oh, that's great. I said, well, your wife has great taste in men.
I like this.
And he goes, oh, she's not my wife. And
nice.
He said, she's not my wife. And I said, oh, thinking, okay, well, he was so quick to deny that she was the wife, I may have a chance with this gentleman,
I love the leading question. You did a perfect job baiting.
I am the king of finding out. I am like a assassin in finding out what I need to know and getting out very quickly. So I was like, okay, good. You're still on the hook. And he was like, yeah. He goes, we would love to take you out and, smoke it out with you. And I was like, well, wow, that sounds fun. And then, and I said, and I like your tan, by the way. And he goes, oh yeah, we got it at Sandals. Now,
Sandals.
I always wondered if Sandals Resort is this kind of...
No, yeah, really I know what Sandals is.
Yeah, and I always thought Sandals was maybe a swingers resort, and I had just maybe had it in my mind. Now, I've come to find out it's really not. But anyway, so then he walked away, and he comes back 5 minutes later and says, I forgot to give you my card. Here's my cell number. We want to smoke it out with you. And I was like, oh, wow. And then he gave me his number, and I see he's in like motorcycle sales and repair. And I was like,
and it's still unclear. Wait, sorry. It's still unclear who the blonde is.
Still unclear. All I know is she's not the wife.
And they went to Sandals together though.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And so then he walks away. Now, at the time, I had this bat phone, which was this number that nobody had and whatever. And I was leaving, and I've never done this. I mean, when I go sign books, I'm on tour right now for Superficial. People, and I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I'm so cool, but people, they see me drinking on TV, so they say, we want to take you out for drinks. So people sometimes give me their numbers, but I've never used them. But there was something about this guy, and I texted him, and I said, I said, hey, and he goes, I can't believe it's you. Are you sure? Are you sure? And the bottom line is that he said, he was out with this woman, and he goes, come meet us. And I said, no, I'm actually going to be friends. And I said, but when you drop her off, why don't you come meet me for a drink?
Smooth.
Because I want what I want. Okay.
Nice.
And so he said, oh no, we don't do anything apart. And I was like, okay, well, that's very interesting wording. We don't do anything apart, right?
Yeah, this is fucked up.
So I then said, okay, well, that's interesting. So late that night, I texted him and I said, listen, there's a reason why you gave me your number. Tell me what it is and be very direct. And what I got back was a declaration basically inviting me to have sexy playtime with the two of them, even though he had never had sexy playtime with a gentleman. And now what you have to know is I'm a gold star, right? Do you know what a gold star is?
No.
I'm a gold star gay. I've never done it with a girl.
Oh.
All right? So I'm thinking that something amazing is going to happen. But I just want to tell you, as I tell you this story, I'm about to go into the tunnel.
I'm
so funny metaphor.
No.
So hopefully
I lose you.
Hopefully I will not lose you. Hopefully I will not lose you. But I just have to tell you, and if we do, we will call you back, or you'll call us back.
Yes.
But anyway, the bottom line is I used to love Penthouse Forum when I was growing up, because they were like the most ridiculous stories. Like, I'm a college co-ed, and it was late one night and I met my professor, I ran into him in the laundry room, stuff like that. And so the bottom line is that we went back and forth. And I have always said, I don't like it that I turned 40 and I was a virgin with a girl, and I wanted to figure out a way to make it happen that I could eradicate that from my record, but that I would want a gentleman to be there as
a gentleman
well.
you were attracted to, right?
Yeah. So I was like, this is the best opportunity.
God damn it, this is a good story.
He was like, you don't understand, my girl is she's your number one fan. Like, she's your number one fan. Like, this would be everything to her. There's only two guys she's ever wanted to be with, as we've discussed this. One is Paul Walker, and he's dead, and one is you, and you're gay. So it never seemed like enough. Now
he's going to go down. We're losing him.
Am I getting...
yeah.
A little bit.
We'll call you in about, 5 minutes? 5 minutes.
This is the best story.
Yeah, call me in 5.
Andy,
Okay, 5.
I love you. We're all, like on pins and needles here. I gotta find out if you're still a gold star, if you've like,
I think we're definitely
graduated to platinum. I don't, or been demoted to silver.
I love this cliffhanger. This is a great cliffhanger.
What a great guy.
So let's just take a 5-minute break. Just me and you. We get a 5-minute break, and then we get to call him back.
Okay. Is that gonna create a really difficult editing job for you? Like creepy breathing?
How long can you keep doing it?
Before I faint. Okay, fine. We're calling Andy Cohen back. I can do it.
Hold on. I know you're excited. I know. Hopefully he's out of the tunnel by now.
Hello.
Andy, gosh, you are just so sweet to do this. Okay, but wait, are you still a gold star? This is what we don't know.
I am still a gold star, but there was a night of excitement, and it was really, there was a lot of new things for a lot of new people.
So wait, you went and met up with these two sandals strangers who are tan and hot.
Yes, we met up at my hotel lobby bar after a book signing the following night, which I thought was such a Penthouse Forum move. I was like, I go find a cozy spot in my bar, and they had made, and when I showed up, they had made $1,000 bet to each other that I was not going to show up. Okay?
Damn.
And I did show up, and she thought that they were being catfished, by the way. And the truth is, we had several drinks, shared a joint. I mean, it was a lot. And the truth is, as I got to know them, they were so cool. They were not only very hot, they were very cool people. Like, they were great.
So it was a really good night.
It was actually a great night. And but what I realized with the woman was that she, the deeper into the night we got, she did not expect. I was going into it thinking, oh my God, I'm going to lose my virginity. And she did not expect that there would be penetration. Okay.
Oh.
Like she was like, I think, because also, by the way, she was my fan. So I think she was also a little freaked out by the idea of suddenly like me losing my virginity
And
to
I
her.
would be
You know what I
nervous
mean?
that my vagina would be like too big, or you know what I mean? Like I would be nervous, like this is Andy's first experience. I want to make sure I do a lot of Kegels like a few weeks beforehand,
Right.
and just
Right.
like and have it be really, like
Yes. But it was very exciting. And the guy said to me while we were having drinks, he goes, you just published your diary. You would never put this in a diary, would you? And I said, oh, no. And then this summer, I texted him and said, I need to talk to you. And I called him and I said, remember when you said you wouldn't put this in a diary? Well, I want to do it. And he was like, oh, that would be so cool. He was into it. And I changed their name in the book, and I sent them
To
the
Chris
book
and Anna?
the other day. Yeah, exactly.
That would be the story of
And
all stories.
He texted. Oh, that would be amazing. Well, I'm ready. See, now I'm fine for you guys.
you
But
would,
he
you would lose.
texted me this morning. He texted me this morning and said we absolutely loved it, and we loved the book, and we loved that we're in it, and it's
That's
so
great.
cool. So, like, it's great.
That is like the best ending I could have imagined to a story that could have been like a little like traumatizing for all parties involved in terms of like how weird does this get, and
Totally agree.
Hey, Andy, how much time do you have, by the way?
yeah. Do you have to go?
I have like 10 minutes.
Okay,
great.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to do another dating scenario, or do you want to do a Hollywood scenario? They're both
Or what, a Hollywood?
a Hollywood. Yeah, I'm inclined to just make the choice for him and do the dating one.
The Hollywood one
you're
is
so
really
good.
funny, though. It's really good.
Yeah, but this is a little more. This is a little more.
Okay.
The dating
All right, go
one,
for it. Do it.
I think, gets a little more out of Andy. Okay, so once again, you are on a first date with Jeffrey. He's 35. He's drop dead gorgeous, and he's a catalog model for men's Zara.
Okay.
During dinner at Morandi in the West Village, you guys are you're having a great time. You ask him, where he lives, and he says 84th and Park, Upper East Side.
Okay.
And that's impressive or whatever. After a bottle of wine, he tells you that he realized life is too short. So that he's living with his parents. Where he hopes to finally live out a lifelong dream of breaking the Guinness record for the most hours spent playing video games. Deal breaker?
Deal breaker for dating or what?
Well, I guess it's up to you.
That is a deal breaker. I can't. It's too much. No, that you got me there.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay. Now, listen, now, since you answered that so quickly, I have one last one, and then we will totally let you go, and I'm so sorry that we've taken up so... Okay, so now this is the Hollywood one. Your phone rings, and it's a number you don't recognize. You normally would never answer, but on a whim, you weirdly do. You say hello, and this is what you hear. Andy, this is Oprah Winfrey. We are getting you a private jet, and you're coming to see me in Montecito. There's a big project I have to talk to you about immediately. You arrive at her home in Montecito, and the house smells amazing, of course. Oprah tells you that she started taking cooking lessons, and she cooked lunch herself. It's of roasted chicken. Maybe there's some vegetables and blah, blah, blah. You bite into a chicken leg and realize it's completely raw inside. Oprah is completely enjoying her own chicken, and says to you, what do you think? Doesn't this taste great? This is like Anthony Bourdain's recipe or some shit like that. How would you proceed?
I would eat no more chicken and just say it was great. And if she really pushed me, I think I would say, I think mine might be a little raw.
You would be honest.
I would try to avoid it, and then I would be honest. Yes. Because also, if I was honest, I would have the upper hand on Oprah. Oprah knows raw chicken. And then she would be like, she would either feel bad or she would think she would respect me more for telling her. But I wouldn't eat it.
You wouldn't eat it. See, because you know what I would do? Here's the kind of person I am. My weak ass self. I would be like, just fuck it. I'm going to get salmonella. I'm just going to like chomp down on this raw chicken.
I'm going to power through the salmonella. I'm going to lose 10 pounds.
Yep.
Right.
That's the kind of asshole I am.
That's really funny. That's really funny.
I don't know if she would respect me more for like critiquing chicken.
Right. And it also depends what the project was that you were going to do together. Right?
Well, no, she wants to sort of take over the world a little bit. Like she wants to have a whole series of networks that she wants you to head. It's like, she's offering you like $20 billion.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're all in talks. Oprah's going to reach out very soon to you.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Andy, those are the. Thank you so much.
I love it.
I love you.
I love it. By the way, I love a hypothetical.
Oh, good.
So I could go down a deep cave of hypotheticals with you sometime.
Oh God,
again,
I would love that.
And please come next time you're in New York. Please come do my show.
I would
this is like
love
a crazy dance we're doing around each other.
And will you also, when you're in LA, please come to my weird house and have a little wine and tell me all of your deepest secrets so our listeners can hear.
Tell you whatever you want to know. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
You were the best, and congratulations!
And everybody get my new book.
Your new book, Superficial,
the Andy Cohen Diary.
I want your advice sometime about books as well, but I'll bug you about that later.
Anna's writing a book right now. She just announced a book deal with Penguin Random House.
Oh God, that's
my God! I was just gonna say, are you fucking kidding me? Because I just launched my own imprint, and I would have been bidding so high for your book.
Oh, I love you.
Oh God!
Maybe there's still time. Take me to Montecito.
We met 2 months too late. Well, good luck on the book. And I'm
thank
happy
you,
to
and you
to
as well. And
too.
Andy, thank you so much for taking your time.
Thank you so much, Andy.
Okay, we love you. Bye.
Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.
What?
He's the greatest guy.
A great
ever,
guy.
Right?
I know.
Greatest guy.
I know.
I can't wait to have him over here.
I love how he's so honest and open and also really knows how to get sort of the truth out of people, but not in any way that's bullying.
Well, he's a lot like you. He's a lot like you. I think that Andy is a master interviewer and conversationalist. I put him in the same category as Howard Stern, as Chris Hardwick, and as you. You guys are all in the same boat right now.
That's nice you to say.
Absolutely.
About me.
No, you guys are awesome. People love talking to you, and you guys get so much out of people.
Thanks.
No, there's a reason why Andy's successful, and there's a reason why you are successful.
Thank you. But you know what Andy does, though? I don't know how, like truly in the casting process of Real Housewives stuff, how you recognize, this person is going to create great television, like great reality television.
For some reason, he always seems to find lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
It's every season. I mean, I'm not a huge housewife watcher, but every time I see it, I can't take my eyes off of it.
It's amazing. You can pick up exactly where you left off because they're all just yelling at each other about something.
But it's still compelling.
It's compelling because they're all, for the most part, with the exception, I would say, of maybe New York. Most of them are pretty humorless. So the problems that they're facing,
like what,
feel so profound and serious. Like if someone finds out that the other person said that she hated her dress at that brunch. And then they're suddenly in like a big fucking fight about it or whatever. And
they really are in their own bubble, aren't they?
I think so, but that's the beauty of it because it allows you to sort of be like,
you ever hear them talking about like world affairs and,
oh, fuck no.
No?
Fuck no.
Or maybe they cut that stuff out.
Yeah. But that's, I'm sure. Like, they're not unintelligent people.
Yes, they're not idiots. They're all smart. And,
It's just sort of the fun of it is sort of the high glamour, like the wealthy lifestyles and the self-absorption. It's like
I love it.
in
It's so
the
funny.
weirdest way. It provides
It's
an
hilarious.
escape.
It's
for
really
people.
funny. It's so funny.
Like,
I laugh a lot whenever I watch them. I can't believe what I'm watching sometimes. Vanderpump Rules is my favorite, though.
Oh, Vanderpump! That is.
They just started a new season.
Unbelievable.
I really, we have to have Lisa.
Where were we? Like, why couldn't we have had jobs at SUR when we first got here? And we were all like hooking up with everybody and like.
It doesn't even seem real though.
being, like-
It's incredible. Does that happen in every restaurant, or is it Andy Cohen's genius once again casting the right? But I still don't understand if were they real waiters and they've just decided to put cameras on them. How are they all such compelling reality characters?
No, I think they were like sort of all kind of my little knowledge. I think
Yeah.
they were all like trying to pursue an acting
Right.
careers. But so then they got hired. My impression is they're all really fucking shitty waiters.
But are they even waiting tables anymore? At this point,
Barely.
after
Not
5 or
really.
6 seasons,
They're
can't
all
they
like-
make enough money from
No,
appearance fees?
They're like fucking in the bathroom. It's fucking awesome. It's the best show. Andy Cohen, I love you. And thank you
he's genius.
for letting me like I don't know, escape like real world
This is
issues
fun.
with people's problems that I don't know, seem like I don't know. They're sexy and they're amusing, and the best part is that they're real to those people, and I love that.
You know, Andy Cohen will go down as, and I'm making a leap here, he'll go down as like Brandon Tartikoff or an executive that has really changed and shaped the way television is consumed and presented.
Oh, completely. And there's a glossiness, like the aesthetic of the Bravo shows changed reality as well. Like everyone is always looking very glamorous and beautiful,
Yeah. Yeah.
just like I am right now, huh, Sim?
Yeah, you're looking fantastic. I like the sweatshirt. Hey, let's take a 5-minute break, and then you know what we're going to do after this?
What?
We are going to get some updates from a couple of callers from
I thought we were
previous
going to
episodes.
Montecito. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Osea. Wondering what to gift your friends and family this holiday season? Female founded over 25 years ago by a mother and daughter team, Osea's award-winning cleansers, serums, face moisturizers, and body products give you the results you want. Skin that looks and feels amazing. I recently got to try Osea's new body butter, which, like their now famous Undaria algae body oil, transforms dry skin without being greasy, has the same incredible scent, and leaves your skin soft, smooth, and healthy looking. If my experience is any indication, you can count on your partner giving you a lot of compliments. This holiday season, stock up and share your new favorite clean skincare and body care with your friends and family. Unqualified listeners get 10% off your first order with promo code ANNA at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order, and orders over $50 get free shipping. Gifting is always easier if you start early, so head to OSEAMalibu.com. Use code ANNA. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by State Farm, and in honor of their surprisingly great auto insurance rates, I'm going to tell you about a particularly surprising day on set. It takes me a long time to read a script. For almost every line of dialogue, I will stop to figure out why my character would say it, how it fits in the conversation, and how it's going to come out of my mouth. Between the lines, there are larger chunks of text which describe everything else happening in the scene. Maybe what a room looks like, what characters are wearing, and what they're doing. As I often underestimate how long everything in my life takes, I know I can make up some time by reading those larger chunks a little faster. I got the script for Overboard about 6 months before we started production. I read it in my warm living room, wearing comfortably warm clothes, sipping from a warm mug of tea. Somehow, it never occurred to me that when you jump off a boat in the middle of the ocean, the water is surprisingly cold. And it doesn't get any warmer on take 2. Here at Unqualified, we love State Farm because they provide coverage that meets your needs at a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Do you remember talking about burritos during when we were on Chris Hardwick's Nerdist at the end of the episode? You don't. I talked about how you really love
Are you
burritos.
recording or not?
I am recording.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Really?
Yes.
You did know how to push the button. Do you want some of my burrito?
I'm going to have some later for sure, but that
Okay.
does look delicious.
It is. It's
Yes.
pretty darn good.
Okay, so we are going to call Giovanni now. And
Yes, dear listeners. So we're doing a. Is it corny that I keep saying dear listeners?
No, maybe our dear listeners.
But they
love
are.
that.
They are dear
They are.
to
They
me.
are.
So what we're doing today is a couple of follow-up calls with some of our past callers, and to sort of find out where they are in their life situations. And I'm excited.
We're going to call two people. The first man you guys will remember is Giovanni, right?
Giovanni.
The first caller is
from
Giovanni.
the Julia Stiles episode, and I'm excited to hear.
If you don't remember where so Julia Stiles Part 2, the call starts at around the 16-minute mark. So if you want to pause this episode right now, push pause, and then you can listen to the Giovanni episode at the 16-minute mark, Julia Stiles Part 2, and then come back to us, and we are going to call him right now. Giovanni, he's in Texas, and he's 19, and he's going to update us on his situation, but we're first going to find out what that situation was all about.
I wish my name was Giovanni.
It's a cool name. It's a cool name.
Hello?
Giovanni?
Yes.
Sorry, did I say that with way too much enthusiasm? I'm sorry. It's Anna. Hi, Giovanni.
Hi, Giovanni. It's Sim. What's up, man?
Hi. Nothing much.
Okay, wait, we have a lot to go over, but first of all, how are you? What are you doing right now?
Okay, so I am good.
I need a visual,
everything's
though.
great.
Are you sitting on the couch? What are you doing?
Oh, I am in my bedroom, just laying on my bed.
Gosh, if I have to pace around all the time. So good for you for just being chilled out. Do you have a television in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Is
I
there
have a
something
TV in my bedroom.
Is there something on right now? Or do you have something on mute right now?
Yeah. Right now, I'm on Netflix, and I have Luke Cage paused.
Oh, I haven't
you
seen that. I heard that was
paused it.
good.
Thank you for pausing it for us.
Hey, Giovanni,
It is
have you
really
seen
good.
have you
It's the
seen
second time.
on Netflix? Have you seen Black Mirror yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, go to the new season of Black Mirror, season 3, I think it is. The first episode you should watch. It's an anthology, so you don't have to watch it in order. Watch the episode called San Junipero. It is mind-blowing.
It's really good. But
then
fuck you, Sim.
And then
Come on.
after that, go to the first episode, which is Nosedive, starring Bryce Dallas Howard. And that is also so fucking... It's
really good. It's really good.
Yes, I
We
told
get it.
you. Right.
But maybe we want to make people listen to our podcast.
I know. You're right. You're right. Sorry.
Giovanni, so we talked
Yeah.
to you a while back with Julia Stiles, and you told us some pretty personal, monumental things.
And Giovanni, you have to, I need to tell you this right now. The support that you
Yes.
have received online has been overwhelming. Everyone wants to know what's been going on with you. Before we get into that, give us a little background. Get us up to date on. First, tell us what the situation was, and tell us where you are now.
Okay, so I was debating of whether or not to come out to my father and my grandmother with my boyfriend, or just come out as gay and just let them and just leave it at that. And this was around my birthday, and I really wanted to do it, and because I was going to be moving to a different town, going to a different university, and be living with my boyfriend. We were going to be 2 years pretty soon, and so
Wait,
I
Giovanni,
thought,
quick interruption. When we called you, I don't know if you remember, but how long had you guys been dating at that point?
at that moment we had been together for about a year and 4 months.
Oh my gosh. So, all right. Serious. So, yeah. So, and now you guys are, yeah. This is,
so.
all right. All right. I love this.
Yeah, and now we're gonna be 2 years, and so I ended up not coming out to them. I still felt like it wasn't the right time yet, and I was still too scared to do it. And I just felt like I just need a little bit more time just to get my life together, get myself like in the right mindset. And I've decided that I will be coming out to them this coming holiday, Christmas, actually.
Always the perfect time.
The whole family's going to be together, but I actually plan to just actually pull my father and my grandmother aside, talk to them, tell them what's going on, how I'm feeling, and because a new year is coming up, and I've decided, like, okay, well, new year, new me. But
Well,
like, I need to know if they want to continue having me in their life, and by having me in their life, I mean like the full me. I feel like I'm keeping a part of myself away from them, a part that I and my friends enjoy, and I think it's unfair to them.
well, no, but it's also unfair to you. Yeah.
Yeah, to myself also. And so I want them to know like the full me, the real me, and I've decided that this is gonna be it. This feels like the right time. It feels right now. Like right now I am in an apartment with my boyfriend. I have a job. School is great, and everything feels settled over here at where I'm living at, and I just feel like there's this other part of me that I just need to just get it done with, get it over, and
this is good. It sounds like he's coming from a really confident place right now, doesn't it?
He's always been.
He sounds a lot more
reasonable and smart.
Yes, he's always been reasonable and smart, but he sounds a lot more confident now than we spoke to him. What was it, 7 or 8 months ago?
But
yeah.
But here's my thing. I emotions around the holidays always get heightened. And like we talk about a lot on the podcast, that people reveal their hands. And I don't want to dissuade you, because I think that it is a good time. But I want to like help you a little bit with the approach. And please always remember, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. So don't really listen to me, but the idea of I just wonder if a preparation in a letter, like
okay, yes. So the letter, yes. I really did like that idea. I actually was able to write one up, but I couldn't make myself send it to my father, or like I couldn't reveal it to him. It felt like this feels like something I need to do face to face with him and with my grandmother together.
Okay.
Like I need them both in the same room, and I need to be there with them, sitting with them, across from them, so I can feel exactly what is going on, or
yes,
how they're going to take it.
I so hear you, and I admire you so much for that kind of courage. But my argument a little bit, and you know them, you'll know exactly, you already know what to do, which is probably to do exactly what you think. But my only argument is, especially for your dad, not so much for your grandma, but for your dad to be able to digest a tiny bit of the reality that he probably on some gut level already knows. So that's the one thing that I wouldn't want we have this mentality, and I don't even know where it came from, that we have to break news face to face, any big news. And I'm not sure I fully agree with it. Like not that
I think I know what you're saying.
I'm not a proponent of ghosting people necessarily, but I'm also like, I would prefer bad news in an email, or, like I don't want to absorb shock face to face necessarily.
Unless, what if the
time.
shock was the first thing you said? It's like, hey, Dad, by the way, I'm right now about to have a conversation with you. It's about me being gay and the fact that I've been living with my boyfriend for 2 years. So sit down, because I hope you're ready for this conversation. And at least the shock of it is gone from the very beginning, right?
Right. But yes.
And then he can be heartfelt in emotion. At least all of that shit is gone at the beginning.
But he won't be, because I think that there's the pressure to have to have the shock emotion. First, it's like, like the things like denial. He's going to be, especially if it's in front of your grandma, I don't think it's going to be. I just personally think, and I really can't reiterate enough how I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, but but the idea that I think you need to prep your father beforehand, because so many people do not do well with surprise. And even if he suspects it, it puts the pressure on them, of the next exchange.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I see where you're going. You know why? If he enters this holiday situation with all of his family there, and all of a sudden he gives them the news, it could turn into the worst holiday, because you can't really predict what's going to happen.
Right.
But if he says, look, I'm really excited about the holiday, spending it with my family.
And I wanted to tell you in a letter.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, truthfully, I wanted to tell you in person. But the reason why I also wanted to tell you, why I decided that it was a better idea in a letter, is because I wanted you to be able to take this in without the pressure of a holiday or like around you. I think in my opinion, it's the more generous thing to do, as opposed to, because I suspect, and I have no idea who he is or whatever, but that he'll feel confronted a little bit, and then potentially lash out, especially if it's in front of another relative, and then that will be devastating and ruin the whole holiday. I think I would recommend being preemptive in this.
Giovanni, what are you thinking right now?
Yeah, what do you think? Sorry. Wow. Ramble. Faris. Stop it.
It's okay. Okay. I can see where Anna's coming from. And I guess I really feel like my father knows. I don't know. I for sure know that he doesn't know about my boyfriend. I'm still gonna leave that for a later time. I just want them to accept me, myself, and who I am and who I'm becoming, first, and then see how their reactions are, or how they accept it, or how they don't accept it. And from then on, I'll introduce them this part of my life, to them. And I feel like my father, there's something in him that knows about me. I know he feels torn, because there was this incident with my father before I had moved up, where we had a real heart-to-heart moment over a situation with my sister. There's something going on with her, and then I started telling him how I was feeling, and then he hugged me, and he told me that he might not agree with everything that I do or the choices that I make, but I will always be his son, and he will always love me. Now, I might be grasping at straws, but I feel like he was referencing toward me being gay. Not too sure. So I guess I can send him the letter.
No, but you know what? Shit, Giovanni, and now I'm backtracking. You might be completely right. I mean, of course you are completely right. You have a good gut. So you're right. I think that if you sense that in your dad, then you are so right to give him the benefit. You're a white.
He's so much more mature.
So young. I know than me. Like I don't.
It's amazing.
Can you come be on this podcast and give people advice?
Yeah. Seriously.
Okay. So here's the thing, though. I do think that if you suspect that your father knows by indicating, by saying things like that, then maybe you tell him just on your own in private, as opposed to you being with your grandma, and maybe that's something that you do later. I don't know.
So the thing with my grandmother is that she is the one who raised my sister and I, because my dad was a single father at the time. So she is my mother figure. Mm-hmm. She is practically my mother.
Yeah.
So my family is very close to my grandmother. My grandmother is kind of like the head honcho of the whole family. Whenever something happens, everyone goes to her. So my grandmother, I hold her very dear to my heart. She's like, I love her so much. And okay, so now I'm thinking the letter thing, or like, I feel like maybe I should message my dad before I head down there, telling him, hey, I'm going to have a conversation with you and grandma. And I know my grandmother is going to be very shocked. So I guess I can let him know ahead of time to be be prepared for what we're going to be discussing, because this is very important. This is something that I need to get off my chest. Something that my grandmother needs to know, because she has always been there for me and for us as like a family. And so the thing with my grandmother, I feel like I need to tell her, because she is my mother. And my father, I'm pretty sure he does know. And so I guess breaking it to him in that way, in the message, like, I guess giving him a heads up of like something like there's this ordeal that's going to be coming up soon, and just I guess be prepared.
I think that's a great idea, because nobody really wants to be. It's like surprises are really hard, especially for people who are a little bit set in their ways. So I would at least, you don't have to say like the whole truth, but I would at least say, I want to talk to you. And it sounds like from what you're saying, your dad's going to know exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And
it will not be a shock to his dad at all. I think as soon as you send that text message to your dad, he's going to know exactly what it is.
Would it be crazy to ask your dad if you say something like, I want to talk to you about something important, should I have grandma there? Like, to ask his advice?
Wait, no. Don't do that, because I think that Giovanni would feel a lot more. I think he'd feel more comfortable knowing that his grandmother is in the room, but so he shouldn't give him the option,
but
right?
It sounds like she is going to be more upset potentially than.
But he has this amazing relationship. How do you know? How do you know she's going to be more upset?
Because Giovanni just told us
no,
that.
No, you have no idea. You don't know that for sure.
Giovanni,
they have this amazing relationship. Is there a chance that your grandmother will be understanding about this because you have this amazing relationship?
I feel like at first she will be a little upset. She is very traditional. She's not as, I guess, progressive as a lot of people these days, but that's only because of the time she grew up in and where she came from and how she was raised.
And of course, maybe she'll be like, honey, like, no, this is the phase. Or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, dismissive.
I feel like this time this is because I feel like my family knows, because when I was in high school, last podcast I had said my stepmother was the one who outed me.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and
I was going to ask
my
you about
whole
that
family
after.
ended
Right.
up knowing, and so everyone just thought it was a phase, I guess, and they just never talked about it after it finished. It was never mentioned. It was never brought up again. So I feel like this second coming out is just a reassurance to everyone, like, hey, like, this happened. It was real. This is who I am. So
Giovanni,
I feel like
you
my
sound
grandmother
like-
at first will be kind of upset, but I feel like she will come around because.
So then it would be a good idea to have her there, right?
Yeah, like
Right?
I really feel like you have an unbelievable gut instinct, and I'm trying to like sway you one way or the other. I feel like you do exactly what your gut says, and because you sound incredibly mature, and
I'm so impressed by this guy. So
me too.
impressed.
I know. I want
Thank
you to move in here with me, but I think that you do know what to do, and I don't have any good advice for you, but I do know that a lot of our listeners
No,
have been wondering
you
about
guys
you.
have really cleared a lot of things up for me. The last podcast, like I was still mixed. I had a lot of mixed feelings. I still didn't know what I was doing, and you guys did clear up a lot of things for me. Gave me really good ideas on that. Like, you are very qualified to be giving this advice. You are really good at this.
My year, thank you.
Giovanni,
I mean it. Thank you. Because I really,
he's a sweetheart. He's a total sweetheart.
I don't know. I thank you so much for saying that. And here's what I want for you. I want you to be able to look at your dad and your grandma straight in the eyes with a lot of love and tell them who you are. And I hope so much. Hopefully it won't, but it may take them a minute. But I wouldn't want to lose you in my life. And I hope that they, feel the same way, because it's like, over what? Over love? Over, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have every right and the freedom to love whomever you want, as we all do. And it would just be, it'd be unfortunate if people that you love make the choice to not do that. But I don't know. I'm optimistic. I feel like the people around you, it really may take a second, but I think that
yeah, I'm pretty sure it will.
Yeah, but you know what?
There's always that 1 second for everyone to like realize like what is actually going on. But I mean,
Right.
I feel like once that's over, like,
Yes.
then that's when they'll know, like, oh, this is him. This is the part that's like
Right.
that's been missing. Like, this is who he is. Like, no wonder he's a great person. That's what I'm hoping. That's the kind of reaction.
That's what we're all hoping
Right,
for. And
yeah.
I really, you know what? We can all just be hopeful at this point. Right?
Yeah. And also it's it would be a tragic thing if they kind of lived in their own bitterness. And I really feel like I'm very optimistic. I don't think they're going to do that to you. And if they do, or if they don't, whatever happens, can we please be in touch again?
Giovanni, as soon as you feel the moment is right to contact us again after all this is done, please do, because I know all of our listeners are they're
I know
100%
there's
on your
there's a lot
side.
of people that are
Everyone's on your side.
concerned about.
We're all concerned about this whole situation.
You have a very relatable situation, and please keep us posted.
Yeah.
And I love you, and Sim loves you, and so many.
Oh, thank you so much. I love you, Anna. I love you, Sim.
You're
You
the
guys are
best,
awesome.
man.
I love you
man.
too. And hey, wait. One last thought though. I'm so impressed with your courage, because that you're
You.
The journey is not easy, and what you're about to do is not. It's not easy, and I'm just really impressed.
I know.
You're a good man. You're a good person.
Giovanni, thank you so much for being so brave again and sharing this with us.
No kidding.
We love you, man.
Love you, Giovanni.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
I guess it has. Right. That's the only thing we can believe is like maintaining optimism.
I know. All right, we're gonna call Polly right now. Polly was from the Jason Mantzoukas episode. Starts in around 58 minutes.
Hello?
Polly! Sorry.
Hi.
I didn't mean to scream in your ear.
I love it. It's great.
You were so sweet to revisit us.
Hey,
Thank
Polly,
you.
it's Sim. Hi. Anna,
Hey, Sim.
you never acknowledge me. I'm sorry, Polly. I have a little.
Because you know what, Sim?
You just don't care. You don't care.
I don't give a fuck about you.
I know.
I'm sorry, Polly. I really give a fuck about you, but I'm just kidding. Sim is like one of my best friends, and I love him. But Polly, thank you so much for coming back on.
Absolutely. No, I was really, really happy to give an update.
Will you tell us what's going on?
Wait, first, before... Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Anna. So, Polly, before you give us an update, kind of recap us on why you called us the first time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I called you guys the first time because I'm currently in a relationship with a wonderful, wonderful guy. We live together, but my parents did not know that we were in the relationship. And I was struggling with how to tell them because I come from a very conservative background and the guy that I'm dating is Jewish. And I was really, really afraid that my parents would not approve of our relationship and was just really, really nervous about that confrontation.
So when I was in my early 20s, I was living with my boyfriend and I couldn't tell my parents either. Like I was living in California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was living in California with my boyfriend and my parents were up in Seattle, and when they came to visit, I had him essentially like move out to stay with a friend for a few days. Like, and I tried to like erase all evidence of him.
Oh my God, that's very stressful.
It is, yes, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know.
But,
I just didn't
but that wasn't because, you weren't.
It wasn't for like religious differences, but it was because I guess I felt, I just didn't want to. This is like deeper exploration. Like I didn't want. I know my parents didn't necessarily approve of living together before people were married. And I also felt like, maybe they wouldn't love the idea of just, the whole thing. Anyway, Paul, I'm sorry. I'm all myself, which I try. Oh, God. Polly.
No, you're good. You're good.
Help me. Thank you. Oh, that feels so good when you say that. Will you say that again? I mean it.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Thanks, Sim. But it feels better when it comes from Polly. Okay, so wait. So tell us what's happening.
So I waited about a month after the advice. Not that it wasn't truly wonderful advice. It was just kind of, I was still looking for that perfect time until finally I realized there would never be a perfect time. And I just really had to bite the bullet because I was just tired of keeping the secrets. So I decided to call them the week before my birthday, because the way that I figured it is they couldn't be mad at me the week of my birthday. I was like, that would just be really, really mean of them to be mad at me the week of my birthday. Also, my boyfriend had planned some really, really fun stuff for us to be doing that week leading up to it, and I didn't want to lie to them about where I was going to be and what I was going to be doing. Obviously, an in-person meeting would have been ideal, but I couldn't afford it. So I decided to call my mom and dad separately. I decided to call my mom first because I thought that one was going to be the hardest and the one that was not going to go over real well. I don't have a very close relationship with my mom, whereas I previously felt like I had a very close relationship with my dad. So I called my mom and I essentially kind of laid it all out there. I was like, I'm dating this guy. He treats me super well. My mom does know him, so it wasn't like just a random name thrown out into the universe. I said, he treats me well. I'm very happy. I just wanted to open this line of communication because I don't want to be lying to you about it. And, in the back of my brain, like, my heart is racing. I'm like, depending on how this goes, I'll just like say the living together thing. And my mom was like really collected. She was like, thank you so much for telling me. I appreciate your honesty. It shows. Yeah, I know. That was very surprising. I was like shocked. I was like waiting for the anvil to drop, and it didn't.
So wait, so sorry. I was interrupting you, but so she was like, I appreciate you tell me more about, sorry.
Yeah, so she was just very appreciative and grateful that I had come to her. She then said, she's like, I would like to take some time to think about this because I don't want to say anything right now that I might regret, and I just want you to know that, I love you, and we'll talk about this at another time. So she kind of ended the conversation, but it was on like a positive note. You know what I mean? It wasn't like the door was slammed in my face. And so I hung up the phone with her and was very hopeful for my phone call with my dad, because I just thought, I was like, wow, if that went so well with my mom, who I was really, really scared about, then maybe it'll go just as well with my dad. And unfortunately, that just was not the case at all. I verbatim essentially said the same conversation I'd had with my mom. And when I finished my little spiel, he just was like, well, you know where I stand on this. Since it doesn't come from...
Yeah, so sorry. That's what I wanted to ask you. Like, where does when he says, where I stand? This is going to make you, this is a very silly analogy, but my entire life, my dad has told me and my sister that, like, picking a boyfriend is like that scene at the end of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, where you have to choose wisely, and if you choose the wrong cup, you'll like turn into a skeleton. Is this reference like falling on deaf ears, or do you know what I'm talking about? I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm not quite sure how it relates. But I know.
So he's just literally of the mentality that if you choose like the wrong person, if you don't choose wisely, like your life will be a road to misery and you won't necessarily be able to recover from it. And like in his mind, that is someone who is of his particular religious beliefs. So me and my sister really, I've had one other very serious boyfriend in the past, which was like not a good relationship at all. But my parents loved him because he came from a family that was identical to theirs. Mm-hmm. White, Christian, middle class, Southern family. And so they loved him, even though he was not the best for me, to be honest.
Why do you think that your dad finds safety in that? I mean, this is a much larger, maybe
it's a really good question. I'm glad you asked that question.
Issue, but like
you asked, why does he find safety? Is that the question?
Yeah. Like, why would your dad find safety in the idea that of you being with somebody? I truly don't know. Like, I don't know.
This is something that like post me and my dad falling out, which I'll get to. I've had to think a lot about, and I genuinely, in terms of like just coming to justify this in my own brain, have realized it truly is because of where he comes from, where he was raised, what he's been surrounded with his entire life. And it is what is familiar to him. Like, in a very, very real way, I am so grateful to have parents that are, so invested, so present, so caring, and have allowed me to have amazing, diverse opportunities beyond the fence of my backyard. But he didn't have that. He grew up in a one-stoplight town in South Carolina. His dad was literally the mayor. So his perspective was literally this ideal in his mind. Like, he doesn't know any other way of life exists. Truly, like, it's his bubble. So I think that's his safety, is that like everything else is unknown to him. He knows what a relationship like this looks like, so that's all he can picture in his head for me and my sister,
And so, Polly, what I've been struggling with lately with everything, and we try not to get like too political on this podcast because we want it to sort of hopefully be an escape for people to some degree. I don't know, but
oh yeah, it is. It's so good. It's
But in relationship to your family, like what baffles me is a little bit of like the lack of imagination of actually of like being someone else or having a different life experience, and then what we've all known, and that's something that I attempt to strive for, is like the idea of like, well, how, what must it feel like to feel marginalized, or what must it feel like when somebody says something that is completely, puts me into a complete stereotype or puts somebody else, you know what I mean? Like, so, and I can't help but feel a little resentful for the idea of the lack of imagination. And I don't quite know why. I'm sure your father is an incredible man, and clearly he raised a fucking amazing daughter. But it's still, this is like one of those baffling questions where usually I don't know what to say. I
want to know, Polly, how did you end up so open-minded, and like we're growing up in that household? How did you escape? And you ended up in New York. Like, I don't really, what's your journey? Like, what were you and your sister, by the way, and Anna, I didn't tell you this, but so she texted me earlier, and I'm sure you're gonna talk about this later on, but your sister started dating a black guy, and we're gonna get into that in a second, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get into that after, but before we get into that, you and your sister, how did you guys grow up so open-minded, in that household?
This is the dorkiest answer ever, because me and my sister talk about this all the time, because otherwise we would just beat our heads against the wall in frustration. So we both are nerdy little theater kids. Growing up, my parents obviously didn't have money to send identical twins to summer camp or, to daycare or what have you. So at a very early age, my mom, I think not knowing what she was doing, took me and my sister to a community theater audition. And we booked, and those people became our people. So, like, at a very, very young age.
Yeah, Polly.
With you, huh?
Fuck. Yeah.
You and Anna.
I love your mom, and I love you. And I love your sister. Sorry.
So, it's like, how do you find the diversity in the Carolinas? Well, you go find the theaters and, like, hang out with the gays and with the blacks. And, so it literally was us truly, like, being surrounded by the most diverse little cluster of people just because of what we were doing.
But wait, Polly, what did your dad think? Sorry not to cut you off. I'm so obnoxious. But what did your dad think when you were doing all the community theater? Like,
when you're acting with African Americans and gay people, and
and people of all different religious creeds, like, for sure. Honestly, here's the deal. My dad was not the one driving us to rehearsals. He wasn't the one helping us practice lines. He'd show up for the final product and the final show, but that would essentially be it. So I don't think it ever really registered in his head how much time we were actually spending with all of these people. He would just see the final show and, oh, that was cute, that was great. It's only been since we've begun pursuing it, like, as serious careers, that I think he's seen this whole world as sort of like a threat to that safety. So I think when we were little, he just didn't recognize it because he saw his little girls up on stage wearing tap shoes and he thought it was cute.
So if your dad could have his ideal world, and I want to get in like to the stuff with your sister and stuff, but if your dad could have his ideal world, like vision for the two of you and your sister, what do you think it would be? Like, would it be like a housewife or like, I don't know. I just don't know.
It would be. And we've like very recently, me and my sister seen this kind of like as an example. My mom's had to do some traveling and my sister still lives at home, and she's just been like we've never truly noticed, like, shocked by the relationship that my dad and my mom have, just in that they do live that like leave it to beaver relationship where my mom does the laundry, does the cooking, does the cleaning, does, all of the arranging, and my dad goes to work every day. So my sister, who's holding down a full-time job when my mom was away, would come home and like find these notes to her from dad that was like, all right, I need these shirts done by tomorrow. There's a full load of dishes. And she was like, I'm not this woman. Like, I'm not this. So, I definitely think the ideal would be housewife, preferably to like either a pastor, a doctor, or a banker, and to be living somewhere, within driving distance of him, because that's,
right.
What, between, like 4 hours away.
And do you guys have a brother?
Like-minded people.
Or is it?
I do. I have a little brother. He's 13.
Okay.
Me and my sister are really working on him. It's a unique thing to have someone who you're watching them be raised and you're like, ooh, I would, disagree with that, because there's a 10-year age difference between the two of us. So I am pleased though. He texted me literally yesterday for girl advice, and I was like, I've made it. I'm cool with my little brother.
Good.
Like, it's good. So yeah.
So okay. So
let's get back to
the relationship. And Polly's sister.
But before we do that, we should like, I want Polly to talk about what happened, like when she actually spoke to
of course.
her dad.
I'm so sorry. God.
I think where we left off was before we got into like 17 different rants, which I loved. I loved every single one of them.
He's
I loved every single one of them.
At me like he really doesn't like them. But
no,
whatever.
I do because we learned a lot.
Let's go.
Each one.
Polly, will you please go?
Sorry, Polly. Continue.
No, y'all are great. I love it. So he just essentially, like, as soon as I finished, had his answer ready, which was like, no. And I said I essentially pleaded with him, just spend time with us, please come to New York, hang out with us, get to know us as a couple, see how well he treats me, see how happy I am. And he just essentially said, I have no intention of trying to do that. You know how I feel about this. My views will never change, like, no matter how much we hang out or get to know each other. And then he just kind of left me. He's like, if you see your child running towards the edge of a cliff, you're going to do anything you can to stop them.
Oh, God.
So that was the end of that conversation. And I didn't talk to him for like a while. And then I did end up in North Carolina, and that's when things got like really rough. He took me on this one-on-one car ride, and I knew, he was like, let's go for a drive and get some coffee. I was like, oh shit, like I know where this is going. And he like really like went for all the low blows. Like, he knew about some of my just like insecurities and really like went for them. And then he's like, well, my intention is to come to New York sometime around the holidays, and my goal is like by the time I've left, you and Brian are going to be broken up. And I just was like, how do you go home and tell your significant other that that's like what your dad's end goal is? Like, it was just so much.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah. It's, the good news is that hasn't happened. He hasn't, and this conversation has been like a while ago. He has not, come to the city. He has not made an active effort to reach out to my boyfriend in any way like that. I do. The one true, like, good gleaning thing that came from all this is, honestly, I have really good communication with my mom now. Like, we talk more than we ever did before, just because I feel like I don't have to lie to her. So I talk to her once or twice a week at least. And, even though, she doesn't know we're living together, when she's like, what are you up to tonight? I'm like, Brian's taking me out. This is what we're doing. And we can have a grown-up conversation about how that relationship is going. She does not say whether she approves or disapproves, but she listens, unlike my dad. So that's where, like, you got to find the silver lining. And the silver lining is, whereas I thought I might not ever have a close relationship with my mom, I would like to believe in the coming years that that's going to continue to, like, grow.
But what's going to happen when you tell your mom that you're living with him? What is she going to say? Is she going to tell your dad? And then what's going to happen?
I'm going to have to tell them together. Like, I already know, because I can't, play favorites in that way, even though my gut wants me to. I'm just going to have to tell them together. I think they're going to, at first, be really, really rejecting of the idea. I think that my dad is probably never going to get over it. But at the end of the day, I would like to believe now that my mom had this good relationship, she's not going to want to sacrifice that to be against my decisions. And something that she has said a couple times over the past couple months, which is true, and it's something that you and Jason both said last time, is, I am an adult. I'm free to make my own decisions. And she said that multiple times the past couple months. So if that truly is what she believes, then hopefully she'll be able to move past it. I feel like my dad probably never will.
Right.
Which is, it's sad, and I hate to say it this way, but it's his loss.
Yep, it sure is. It sure is.
I know. Well, now your sister is dating an African American guy now.
Yes.
And did she tell your mom? Does your mom know about this?
So she does. And what's really funny is my sister cites me as being the reason she just went on and told them, which makes me really happy and proud and glad that I made that decision.
Both your parents know. Your dad knows also.
Yeah, he does know.
Okay. What did they both say?
So essentially, my mom was less cool about this one than she was about my boyfriend. She just keeps telling my sister, I'm so disappointed. And when Claire says, when my sister says, I think that's because you're racist, my mom cites back to religion. And there is an age difference between the guy and my sister, and she cites back to that. But
what's the age difference?
I think it's 8 years. But they both, they're doing a show together. They're up.
He's 8 years older?
Yeah.
Big deal. That's nothing.
Yeah, no, and then also, I just feel you kind of have to know my sister too, but she was never going to date someone her age. She just never was. So the fact that has, surprised my mom surprises me. But, yeah, so they keep saying they're very disappointed. My dad, it's really funny. He's trying to get her to move. He's trying to find her jobs and other opportunities in other places, far away from this guy. So that's his tactic with her.
Is she looking for a job? Is that what's going on? She needs a job?
We are such small time, but she's in between acting gigs right now, and that's why she's at home. She's trying to figure out the next thing that'll put, money in her pocket. So, so he's trying to find her a real human job.
So what are you guys going to do?
I can't speak for her in terms of her relationship. I think for me, I keep changing my deadline just like I did the last time. I keep telling my boyfriend's parents I'm going to tell my parents by the new year, simply because, start the new year fresh. Let's get on even turf. I am planning on hopefully being home around the holidays. And I know in many respects that's the worst time to do it, but also, there's never going to be a right time. And I don't know when I'll be home after that. And I think that this one I would like to do in person, preferably with my boyfriend there if possible, because I would love for them to actually spend one-on-one time with us.
Well,
so eventually... You disagree? I'm here for your unqualified advice.
I think that I like the idea of you telling them in person, but I don't know if I want him in the room just yet.
Okay.
And I think that your all your gut instincts are so right. I really do. I think that I would say something like, I want to sit you down. You probably have suspected. I'm living with my boyfriend, and I really love him. And I know that you may have some objections to this arrangement, but I'm really hoping that you trust me and you love me. And quite honestly, at this point, as much as I love you and I want to always remain close to both of you so much, there isn't anything you can do to change my mind. So
yeah,
this is either I just hope that you continue to love me and support me. And if you can't find it, if you can't quite do that, let's regather in a couple months and see if you can.
Mm-hmm.
And what the fuck are they going to do with that? Right?
That's all you can do. No, Anna, that's perfect. That's good.
Right? Like,
yeah.
That was very good. Yeah.
I wouldn't say like we can never have her. Like I wouldn't give him like a crazy ultimatum, but I would say like, please digest this in like a more eloquent way. But please digest this.
They're never going to be happy about it. They're not going to be happy. They're never going to. We just have to.
No, but they will eventually realize, especially as they're getting older, how much their daughter's relationships are going to matter to them.
Exactly.
And they have to relinquish control.
Right.
They have to. Mm-hmm. And they have to like understand that their daughters are living independent lives. They're in love with other people. So they have to, it's now the ball's in their court.
Right.
Of like, are you going to accept your daughter's choices? Because you fucking have to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's unfortunate. I'm just so sorry that you have to kind of grapple with this stuff.
Can I ask a really dark question? A really dark question.
Yeah.
Let's say your boyfriend proposed to you, and you accepted, which you would probably do.
This often, yeah.
What is going to happen next when you tell your parents, "Hey, guess what? I'm getting married to the love of my life, and Dad, I want you to walk me down the aisle." What's going to happen then?
So I know the answer to this question because they've made it very clear about two things. One, and this is a whole other story, but they've said that if I, one, get a tattoo, or two, choose the wrong person, they won't pay for the wedding.
Okay.
So and first and foremost, you guys should know I do have a tattoo. So, oops, my bad. Secondly, so like that's already, they don't know about it, but anyway. And then secondly, like choose the wrong person. So according to them, so I already know that no matter who I end up with in that, when that day comes, if it's not someone who meets all of the little boxes that they want to check off, in the way that like traditionally like a bride's family does pay into the wedding, that would not happen. In terms of them coming and showing their support, I really don't know.
Polly, sorry, go.
Yes?
Go. But I have so many thoughts right now about wedding shit.
Continue, Polly. Anna's about to explode.
Yeah. It's my own. No, it's my own personal stuff because I just think that if the threat is that your parents won't pay for your wedding, that just is not enough. To me, it's like you could have a wedding at fucking Shakey's Pizzeria and be just as happy. As if you were in Napa. And so that's
what I know.
It's a weak threat, ultimately.
But in their minds, it's a huge threat because they come from the land of these beautiful, sweeping, Southern living weddings, and they think that that's what
and that's what they want for you. They want to see their daughter have this whole thing where they get their friends and like everyone is like whatever, like getting to celebrate your marriage and blah blah blah. But that is a very weak, lame threat in the grand scheme of things, and it's unfortunate that they don't realize that. I think.
I wholeheartedly agree. They have been known, however, to not go to other family members' weddings.
Well, then maybe that's fine. So maybe you elope.
Yeah.
I eloped.
Yeah.
And I'm so fucking happy I did it. I really am. Like I got to eliminate all of the other chaos, and I just got to like be with Chris and I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know, Polly. Golly, I'm so
Polly,
sorry.
I know this is. I mean, obviously, we were hoping for a better update, but this is, this is a reality check for everyone, and so.
But it's still a good update. They're still together.
It's a great. Of course, no, that part is great. I was hoping for the storybook ending,
right?
But
but she won't. Paul, you may never have that. Your father may pass away with bitterness in his heart, and that's unfortunate. But that's how my grandpa died. And my grandma.
You know what I'm really sad about, though?
What?
Because you know what? Relationships don't always last. Let's say Polly breaks up for whatever reason, unrelated to anything. Let's say I don't want and she's going to be heartbroken and she's going to need her family, but I don't want her dad saying things like, "See, I told you you shouldn't be dating a Jewish guy." I don't want his religion or your sister's boyfriend's race to play a part of any of this, because people break up for multitude of reasons,
right.
And I feel like your parents may use that,
right,
and you're going to need them for comfort, and I don't, and if hopefully, obviously, that won't happen, but I'm not talking about this situation in general. I'm just talking about.
No, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
So sad,
because Sim and I we've been divorced. So we're just these bitter old,
right? Maybe that's what it is.
No, but it's definitely stuff I've thought of and in very different capacities have experienced with them in the past, different situations of heartache or disappointment when it's, you really, really want someone to be there in that way, but they won't be. And I think as jaded as this sounds, and I don't want it to be like, oh, the hopeless update, but, I think if I know exactly where they're at, then I won't be disappointed by that reaction.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that I have a real reality check on what they believe and what they would say. So if any of that were to happen, I already expect it. And two, the other good news is I do have a twin sister who is amazing and is there for me in ways that my parents will never be. And so I think that that's where the world granted me a really great gift in her.
Completely. And you guys clearly know how to love outside of any of the world that you've grown up in, which is a remarkable strength and gift. And also, here is an opportunity for you and your sister to challenge your parents, especially your father, and to be.
Oh, I fully agree. Yeah,
and
if nothing else, it started conversation.
This conversation, in and of itself, Sim and I we're going to get a lot of emails from people who are facing similar situations, and your story will be really inspiring and
completely
and you're this struggle that you're having within yourself of this whole journey will it's going to cultivate a lot of conversation, and that in and of itself I think is really special and remarkable, and hopefully maybe could evoke some change in some way. I don't know.
I mean, you can only hope, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? But listen, you're doing the right thing, and we love you. You have so many fans.
Yes,
so many people have been wanting to listen to
you,
your update.
You have to give her forward her some of the emails that
I will.
About.
We've been getting so many.
That's very
absolutely.
kind, you guys.
And honestly,
So
we can't thank you enough for just sharing your story with us and really shedding to light that you're not alone. By the way, you're not alone. And this is.
Thank you so much. And if if anything, it's a testament to how amazing you guys have been at creating such a fun and safe space. Because for every serious call, there's a laugh that comes after it. It's just such. No, truly, it is an encouragement to listen every week, and I appreciate giving the update. I appreciate that you guys are out there still caring. So,
oh man,
awesome.
and thank you so much for sharing too personal shit. That's not easy.
Not a problem at all.
And all right, so will you please keep us posted, and please give your sister your love, but that seems weird. I don't have a sister. You have a sister. Will you please give her?
I absolutely will.
my love. And please, 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 if you don't mind, I'd love to check in with you in like a month or two if you felt like it.
Well, you're part of the family now. You're part of the Unqualified family.
Oh,
We love
thank
you. We adore you, Polly.
Thank you.
Polly, thanks. Thanks for keeping up the good fight.
For sure. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye. Oh, she's great. This was...
What if I'm silent for a really long time?
I know.
No.
No, this is good. She seems in really great spirits, though.
I think so. I hope
she
so.
really does. And I hope they finally do come around.
I hope so.
Right.
Hey, Sim,
Yes.
I know that you'll probably not include this, but I've never heard you say like that. Will you do that again? But
I won't include this. Go on.
I do want to say a little bit of something about the recent election. And I know we really have been hesitant to ever talk about politics on the podcast.
Yeah, I think we made it a conscious choice not to discuss politics.
Yeah. But now I do want to say something, and you can choose whether or not to include this, or not. I feel pretty darn confused, and I'm struggling with that. And what my confusion is based on my delusion, maybe living in the bubble of Southern California. Also, the idea of the lack of imagination for what it's like to feel like, I don't know, like just like things, like, I don't know, any kind of privilege and by privilege, I don't mean like wealth. I mean, just like the simple idea of you might get a job interview before somebody else because
you're either male or white.
Yeah.
Right.
Am I don't know.
No. Listen, it's a confusing time for a lot of people. We have to get through it. We just have to get through it.
I guess.
And it's like we could talk about politics.
Remember how you were going to give me like that whole bottle of Vicodin?
Wait, did I?
Yeah, you told me you were going to do that, and now you never delivered on it.
I need to get some Vicodin then to get for you.
No, but truly, it's been a little, it's just, and I really want to hear all voices, but I just don't, my job as an actor, I feel like is the attempt to empathize, right? With somebody whose position I don't fully understand.
Right.
But that's my job. And I love it. I love that idea of exploration. But this has been an unbelievable challenge. And I don't quite know how to wrap my head around it.
I think most people we know are going through the same thing that you're going through right now.
But so that makes
what do
me
we
feel
do?
Like, well, we're
Is that
living
what
in a bubble, right? Like,
yeah.
like we're living in that. So that's the problem. Is
Right.
that I want to understand, but I'm not sure I do yet. I'm not sure if I will. You gonna cut that out?
No.
Really?
This is I don't want to cut this out.
I need a little more understanding. I need a little more understanding. Oh, God damn it. I need some more understanding. Please, dear listeners, will you help me understand? Help me. I want to know. I want to be able to relate to everybody, or at least attempt to. I love you all.
We do love you. We do love
And,
everyone. And by the way, Anna, can I just say on a more positive note?
Yeah.
Congratulations on 1 year of this podcast.
Hey,
Happy anniversary.
Sim, thank you. You know there's no way I could ever have done this without you.
You've
So I
changed
thank you.
my life, and this has been the best journey
It's been
ever.
and you've changed mine. And truly, I know you really. I could never, ever in a million years have done this without you. I thank you so much.
You know that it's just I can't even imagine what my life would be right now without you. I really can't.
He's unqualified.
Anyways, yes.
He's unqualified.
That's for sure. But before we go, you know who doesn't get enough credit at all is Emma Tolkien.
Emma. Yes. Emma's
she's
one of our fucking amazing. Yes. Emma, thank you so much.
She's our social media manager. She does all of our tweets and all of our Instagrams and all of our Facebooks. Some people thought it was me. I'm not that talented. There's no way. And plus,
fucking hysterical. And I just love her. Yeah, I love her so much. She's like doing
and she's always in the background. She doesn't really. Yeah. She never expects any credit. She never asks for credit. But she's always
really fucking hysterical. And we're gonna have her on the podcast. And I'm grateful for her. Our whole army.
Staff. Cassie has been unbelievable.
People.
Yeah. Oh, it's just been a wonderful.
All right, dear listeners, thank you.
Thank you.
And we love you.
Good night.